As a Pokemon card collector, Donter Collects, I have always wondered what the depths of the artists of the Pokemon TCG have to offer. Gaining that sort of knowledge is part of why I'd like to share it upon you, the viewer, to figure out which artist truly speaks to you. This is Pokemon Artist Review. This series is dedicated towards looking at what makes the artwork of each individual Pokemon TCG artist so special, distilling it into a video analysis format. Join me to find out who your favorite artist is, and subscribe to see more Pokemon artist reviews. Help me reach my goal of 700 subscribers. If there's an artist who you really want to see reviewed, then feel free to let me know down below. Welcome to the Pokemon Artist Review. In today's video, we'll be talking about Hasuno. Hasuno started illustrating cards in the set Generations, released February 22nd, 2016, which is 9 years ago, and illustrated 81 cards, including any reprints they may have. Hasuno has a fantastically punchy style that always hits you really hard with all their illustrations, creating a very visually distinctive and captivating artist who does a really good job of not only making impacts feel important, Pokemon feel powerful, and environments feel special, but also their long-standing relationship with the Pokemon TCG has only proven to further enhance their portfolio. These are the criteria I'll be analyzing to enhance the best parts of Hasuno's artwork. Firstly, the colors, and next, I'll be talking about the outlines. Finally, I'll be talking about the creativity of their cards. For the first point, I want to talk about Hasuno's colors. Looking at this Gouging Fire Scarlet and Violet promo, this card is glorious, and the main reason as to that, in my opinion, is the vigorous colors of the card, with shading that goes hand in hand in making an awesome looking vicious Pokemon. The deep red that's used in the claws of the Pokemon make the dark red nicely contrast with the deep brown fur of the Pokemon itself, and the heavy shading used on its claws, fur, armor, and everything in between makes the Pokemon feel gritty and aggressive, something that I think stands for a lot of Hasuno's cards. The colors directly lead to the perception of anger and primality of the Pokemon, which I think is quite incredible. Another example of colors impacting the illustration would be for the Electabuzz and battle styles. The colors and shading of the Pokemon make it look like it's almost melting due to the powerful electricity that it produces. That bright yellow electricity is so striking against the darker yellow fur the Pokemon has all over its body. All of the above mixed with a deep blue sky in the background makes for a stunner of an illustration, which is colored and shaded absolutely perfectly. Next, I wanted to mention Hasuno's outlines, which are typically not a main feature of a lot of their illustrations. However, one of the cards that goes against this idea is the Jolteon VMAX promo. The pink outline around the Pokemon, which is almost more of a glow than an outline, shines brightly against the background. You can tell that the buildings are separated from the grass on the floor due to the colors and shading suggesting so, and outlines on the Pokemon itself are essentially exclusively used for separating parts of the body, such as the legs and the fur. It's a very thin and smooth outline that accentuates the phenomenal shading of the illustration itself. Our next example can be the Espeon and Deoxys GX promo. This card is absolutely phenomenal, and the outlines are used so creatively for Espeon. You can really tell that the outlines are mainly used as guidelines for where the shadow on the Pokemon starts, being mainly used on the back sides of the ears, the right side of the body, as well as the legs. Foregoing the use of outlines for the side of the Pokemon affected by the radiating light is a really effective tactic to make the card pop just that little bit more. Finally, I'd like to point out Hasuno's creativity. What can I say? It's absolutely leaps and bounds above the term incredible that it's not even funny. I love and adore the Blacephalon from Cosmic Eclipse. The idea of giving the Jester Ultra Beast a smiling expression as it jumps away from a starry explosion is just such a great idea that it's essentially executed perfectly. I've no complaints for the illustration, which means I don't really have a lot to say about it, other than the fact that the shading, the stars, the expression of the Pokemon all make for a gorgeous illustration of a temptingly interesting Pokemon from another dimension. Another illustration that's absolutely creative is the Mimikyu Delta Species promo. It's the revitalization of an older style of a card, which is just done so well with Mimikyu here. The crystals were a huge part of the EX era's set Crystal Guardians, and the blue outline was such a huge part of the way that older illustrators would showcase that Delta aspect of the Pokemon. Overall, the card is executed perfectly, showcases a beautiful vintage feeling modern card. And now, let me talk about my favorite card from Hasuno. To be honest, it is hard to pick, but I obviously have a favorite Pokemon for a reason. Gotta use that to showcase one of the most gorgeous cards of all time, being that Espeon Deoxys card that I was talking about earlier. Not only is Deoxys menacing and incredible in this card, but the idea of a random Espeon coming up from a meteor that an alien came from is a fascinating concept. That Espeon, it could have been any Pokemon really, and the fact that it was Espeon makes their allyship all the more cool. And thinking about how Deoxys could have recruited Espeon, or the other way around to form a team, it's just really an incredible illustration that makes Deoxys and Espeon feel special, and gives both of them a great personality. And that was Hasuno. Man, I feel so happy to bring back this series. If you like the series, then I'm happy to bring it back. Hasuno's artwork is currently revitalizing my love for the illustrations of Pokemon cards, and if you can do that, you're truly one of the most talented artists in the Pokemon TCG. What a crazy cool illustrator. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by liking and commenting, as well as to consider subscribing to my channel. I cover everything you need to know about Pokemon artists, as well as other Pokemon related videos. And if you want to see more of these kinds of videos, I have a playlist on my channel for the Pokemon Artist Review. And with that, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.